Alright guys, so we're going to go ahead and start pushing into the Mist Village. As you can see, there is a vendor over there, well, a merchant. But what we're going to actually do is head this way first. There is a guy over here that will absolutely crush your face. It's one of those one-armed shinobis. Never liked fighting them on my first playthrough, so this is your first playthrough. Just showing you here, you can sneak up and take them out like that. It's also an incredibly good farm spot because he gives rare materials and he gives 784 experience. Just for context, he gives more experience than all of the enemies we were killing while we were originally farming in Harada Village. So you could kill him, sprint back to the sculpture, rest, do it again and again and again, and kind of level up like that, right? So very, very potent experience farm right there. At this point in the game, if you've been kind of playing along with me, you won't really have a need for any more gold other than buying, divine confetti later on and stuff like that. But we got plenty of gold right now to kind of get us through whatever we might need. Use the shuriken prosthetic to kind of deal with the pups around here. And you're going to come up top and grab this item, like coin purse. Again, not a huge deal, but the more money the better, right? Jump down here. Lump of fat wax, always super important. And so the village is this way. As you can see, there's some dudes over here digging through the mud. I'll kind of explain what's going on in the village as we get there, and you can kind of piece it all together. But let's see what the merchant guy has to sell to us.
Just an offering. Another one. Where you find me, even. Go ahead.
All right, so the mottled purple gourd is very important for the terror status buildup. It's basically another healing gourd, and it's going to bring down your terror. I kind of talked about terror a few times, but hugely important when you start fighting some of the apparitions. We actually just passed one of the headless apparitions. I just didn't fight them right away because we're going to come back and do those towards the end. But using that will help drop your terror, which terror is one of those things that will absolutely kill you. So make sure you pick that up. We're going to pick up the Dragon Spring Sake and the Adamantine Scrap and the sugars, and I'll come back and pick everything else up. But again, make sure you're buying the treasure carp scales and all that stuff. So let's go with a bulging and see if that gives us enough. So I need 1,200 and 200. So I need 1,400 more. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, cool. So I went kind of over there. It's extra 1,000. So 2 of those. 2 of those. And then we'll come back and get all the bulging coin purses and stuff like that. But alright, just let me check my notes real quick. Alright, so we're going to do the village first. I wasn't planning on doing it in this order, but we'll go ahead and knock this out. I just want to make sure I didn't miss any important dialogues. Alright, cool, yeah. So we'll knock out the village, and then we'll head back and start doing some of the main story again. But again, if you need to farm, that guy definitely will help boost up help you get the experience you need for your valuable upgrades. Alright, so these guys, when they die, they do come back. So you're going to want to rush through this area. They're super easy to kill, but rushing through and making sure you kill them is one of the... Now, eventually, you can just keep standing here and killing them all, but what ends up happening is as they spawn from the ground, they're going to... Some of them are going to spawn and grab your legs, so keep moving. Don't just stand here and fight them all. Keep moving around. Great farm location though. I mean, right now they're only giving ceramic shards, but if you pop like one of the balloons to give you some more items. They drop some pretty good rare crafting material, so really good farm right here. Just kind of speed through. Mibu Village, that's what it's called. All right, so this water is very important, right? But we're not going to see that in this playthrough because I'm doing it in a different order. Go ahead and take care of this guy. And we're going to use... Let me back up and get the... Oh, I don't have the... Now, some of these guys have spears, so be careful for their thrust attacks, just like they're trying to both get me with. But as long as you can avoid, they're really, really simple to kill. There are some large mobs, like the big heavy-hitting guys, so you want to make sure you don't pull a whole group of these guys and pull those at the same time. But if you can just keep everything kind of centralized and keep moving, you'll be fine. And if you have the ability unlocked that gives you health back on a death blow, you can kind of do this non-stop, especially as a farming location. Just come through here and just kill everything, pop a balloon, get as much experience and sand and items as you need, and just rinse and repeat. You can see, I mean, let's see how much I get without even using a balloon. It's only 126, not bad at all. Oh, they're respawning. Alright, so Mibu Balloon of Soul, that's nice. Gonna run over here. Kind of avoid these guys. Balloon of Wealth. And grapple up. And get inside the building. So this is where you're gonna start running into some of the story elements for the game.
Basket. No. Calm down. Are you an honorable person? Yes. Thank goodness. You are an honorable person. Is there something you want to ask? Look, sorry, but if you have questions, I'll have to answer with this basket on my head.
What is wrong with this village?
I'd sure like to know that too. Before I knew it, everyone had gone insane. For a while, I too was in a daze, but I snapped out of it after I threw up. I was thirsty, so I drank a lot of sake. I'm sure that's what made me throw up. The head priest sometimes treats us to sake, but you know, when you drink sake, you get thirsty. The sake cask runs dry in no time, so everyone has no choice but to drink the water in the ponds and rivers. But the more you drink it, the thirstier you get. You get thirstier and thirstier, can't ever drink enough.
What is wrong with the villagers?
No idea. All I know is they all fear fire. For a while, I too was in the same daze, and I felt the fear too. An unquenchable fire. Even now, the thought of it gives me chills.
An unquenchable fire?
The hunter, Inuhiko, started burning pine resin and locked himself in his house. His pine resin burns a long time. It's a real nuisance. Inuhiko is the village outcast. He likes eating wild animal meat in the sort. That's why the head priest doesn't give him any sake.
Where is Inuhiko's house?
Oh, on the other side of the pond. Inuhiko's is the last house on the path.
Tell me about the priest.
He's the most important person in the entire village. You can find him in the shrine, all the way up the riverside, near the water's source. He told us, let us become citizens of the palace. If you drink enough sake, you shall become citizens, he said. Huh? A citizen of the palace? I don't really get it, but that's what he said.
Alright, so
Oh, gotta go, huh?
as you
Over
can see,
here.
this guy's kind of
Waiting in this basket.
losing his mind.
Must
The
resist drinking.
the water here is fountainhead water, and their plan for the Fountainhead Palace is to get people to drink all the sake, and then that will lead them. They'll lead them over to the Fountainhead Palace, and bad things will happen. So when we get to the Fountainhead Palace, it'll make a lot more sense. But basically, this guy snapped out of it because he stopped drinking, and everyone else is kind of losing their mind. So the priest, he's giving them sake, and they're getting drunk on the sake, and eventually they all kind of go crazy. How do I get out of here? There's no grappling point. I feel like I should be able to just jump out. Well, this is embarrassing. Oh, making noise. They can hear me. It's got to be the same way I came in. What the hell? Oh, there is a grappling point, it just doesn't show up. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. I knew it had to be from the top, but not sure why it wasn't showing up. So I didn't miss anything coming this way. Oh, also another important piece of dialogue there was about the guy that is the village outcast. He actually has a very rare crafting material at his house, and we're gonna definitely want to go pick that up because it's one of the most important upgrades for your prosthetic tool that you can get. So while you're coming through here clearing it out, don't ever feel the need to kill everything, but you can start seeing some of the villagers are starting to look a lot like the priest that we killed that was creating the mist. They're starting to like turn into what looks like almost fish. That's intentional. There we go. Chicken just knocking me over. Come inside this building. You can use these buildings as kind of like a emergency getaway to get away from these things, but we shouldn't have too much trouble here. Alright, so a couple big dudes, a couple small dudes, big bunch of items down here, so we're gonna kind of just do a quick loop through the whole thing, pick up what we need. Contact medicine, Ashina sake, which is great for you. These guys are running after me, so don't want to spend too much time here. Alright, got everything from here. Let's go grab down here. Pellets. If you do a good amount of farming in this game, one of them got a hold of me. See, this is when it becomes kind of bad news. Gourd seed, and take it to the water. Now there's some fish here that will attack you, and then there's some fish under that are going to give you the carp or the scale. So want to make sure, since we can't dive yet, if they go under, we're not going to be able to get them, but if you swim up behind them, you can kind of get the drop on them and make it pretty simple. Alright, so this is leading to the guy's house. And as you can see, this is like a little pathway. They got dudes hanging. see if we can get to this next level. Random chickens just hanging out. Oh, the chickens are my worst enemy in this game. Very important that you get the ability to heal up on death blows. It kind of makes your farm runs last twice as long, especially when you're just gathering stuff. But use the building to your advantage. Gonna run down here. Clear the backside. Fistful of ash, and then you're gonna want to get alright, so adamantine scrap and then pine resin ember. So it's a piece of resin that contains a continuously smoldering flame, can be used to upgrade the flame vent. The resin was found in black pine in the forest of Mibu Village. The ever smoldering flames acted as a landmark to find the way to the village. In time, the villagers came to loathe the flames, and then the black pines were lost. Those who defended the flames were equally loathed. So this guy defended the last of those trees, and he became like the outcast for it. So now what we're gonna do is just get out of Dodge. As you can see, you can, or as you heard in the dialogue, they don't like fire, so you can kind of flame vent your way through here, or you can just avoid killing them in general and do what I'm doing here. If you get into a sticky situation, you can always use your homeward idol, and it'll bring you to your last rested bonfire or back to the temple. You just find a safe place to use it in, and just speed back after you kind of recouped all your stuff. Gonna come in here, some divine confetti, yellow gunpowder, again very important. Anything down here? Nope, nope. Looks like we got everything. Collect this. Like, I mean, this area is super chaotic, but it has a ton of rare materials that you're gonna want, so it's definitely worth the dive. There is a chest over here. And again, you'll never find any of this if you don't go actively looking for it, so just make sure while you're playing. This divine grass, for example, is going to give you like a 100% full heal every time you use it, and then it also offers you a shortcut here to the bridge. You're going to use this bridge later on. Alright, so she's playing a little guitar thing, and if you remember, there was a character that was looking for someone playing the guitar. Make sure we didn't miss anything here. Get everything. Yep. There's one item up there. Let me figure out how we're going to get to it. Let me go ahead and rest real quick. So yeah, that guy, he was looking for the girl playing the music. He kept talking about it, and we kept calling him a weirdo. Well, it turns out that there actually was someone kind of calling him, and we're gonna go find out exactly what happened there. But first, we got one more item we want to pick up. Actually, two. See one over here. We'll go to the bridge first. Another pellet. All that worked for a pellet. Jump up here. And work our way down to whatever this is. More rare materials. It's always worth it. Seems like a pain in the ass, but try to get it on your first run through to minimize the backtracking, but if you gotta go back once or twice, not a big deal. Gonna rest again. And now is where you're going to want to talk to Sad Guy again.
Oh, is that you, Shinobi? I was so taken by the melody. I did not see you coming. Ah, I can hear it. I'm sure the shamisen player is just beyond here. I knew it. She's been waiting for me the whole time. Ah, I knew it. She's been waiting for me the whole time.
Alright, so this is going to be the conclusion to his story. He basically had two options. There was a guy that we haven't met yet. He's like a crazy surgeon. You could have tricked him into going into the dungeon, and the guy giving him surgery in the dungeon would have turned him into a zombie that you would later have to fight, and you get a good item after you kill him. Or you can do the right thing and not kill him. But eventually, you know, he's not going to make it out of here, but this is where the last time that we're going to see him. And this is who was calling him. Now, this is another mini-boss. She's very difficult. Considered by a lot of people to be one of the more difficult characters in the game to fight. She is an apparition, even though she doesn't look like it, so using Divine Confetti is highly recommended. But you'll see that there is a kind of a trick way where if you bump into her and then you jump off this pillar, you can get a stealth kill, but we're not going to cheese her. We're just going to fight her straight up. So Divine Confetti. Talk to her. Ask why she's crying.
What do you say?
Because she's sad. She's looking for Lord Sakazu.
But no matter how, and no one will actually. Can you tell me
I don't know.
why must
So she gets mad because she's looking for whoever that guy is. So she is really difficult because she does not give you breathing room. I was not prepared for that. Alright, so again, you're gonna just deflect and then punish. Jump. Every time she deflects, just make sure you're ready to. Don't let her grab you. Every time you go to heal, she is going to jump and try to punish. So if you find yourself having a really hard time at this mini boss, you can go ahead and just leave and start progressing some of the other areas, because you'll get some items that will make fighting apparitions laughably easy later on. But she's a good boss to practice on your parrying. Here we go. When she does break your posture and go for that grab, just roll. Do whatever you got to do to roll away. Don't get greedy. I was getting greedy right there. Alright, that's phase one. So whenever you kill a mini boss or you get a death blow on one, you'll get your resurrection node back if you died in the first phase. So we now have another resurrection. So it's not recommended to just die if you feel like you can get the kill. Keep pressing at it. Again, the more you deflect, the quicker she dies. So always punish. Jump on top of her head, gives her more posture damage. And then she's back in. There you go. Oh. Oh no. These pellets. Oh my goodness. Alright, we almost got her, So since we got that resurrection back, just play it smart.
If you won't come to me, at least instead.
Just keep playing super defensively, and eventually her posture will break. There we go, there we go. There we go. Couple more. Alright, real defensive. Boom. And that's how you do it. Again, kind of sloppy, but play defensively and the game kind of works out. You just want to be aggressive after. So you hear her, she says, Lord Sakuza brought the man in his stead, and he's right over there, so she's going to pay him a visit, get the prayer bead, and Breath of Life Shadow, so you recover vitality upon performing a successful death blow. Alright, we'll go ahead and end the episode here. We'll push on, there's another boss up ahead, and we'll deal with that in the next episode. Catch you on the next one.